Hi everyone, we're back. I'm Kathleen.
I'm Nancy.
And we are On the Needles.
So, episode 3.2.
Yes, we had a slight snafu last time. We did our whole podcast. And then when Nancy went to upload it, there was no sound. So our podcasting friends made us feel better saying it happens, and they commiserated with us. And we're looking on the bright side because now we get to see each other twice in 1 week instead of once in 1 week.
And I finished an object.
Yes, it's between then and now.
And if we didn't have these masks on because we're in the middle of a pandemic, you probably could have read our lips. Maybe.
Very frustrating.
So we had a practice run.
Yes.
I think we've got it.
Yeah, our first little pothole on the road.
First of probably many.
Yes, in podcasting.
So, any life updates? I know we had some on Monday, but this is Thursday.
Well, Monday was mine and Mimi's 7th anniversary. And it's funny because the traditional presents for the 7th anniversary are copper and wool. And so we decided to go with wool, obviously, because she's a knitter too. And we got each other the present of joining the Loops Club, which is from Loops I think it's in Oklahoma City. And they're the ones that do knit stores also. So it's like a monthly yarn club, which probably we need a hole in the head, but we got it.
Well, if any knitter has learned anything from this, it's keep your stash full because
you never know.
Pandemics happen.
You never know what's going to happen. So I don't know. I'll bring it in to share and show you guys. We don't really know what to expect, but it can't be bad, right? What about you? You had some activity.
Yes, I had an eye infection. It's a week and a half ago now, which was 2 weeks ago, actually. 2.5 weeks ago, which was a little scary. Somehow I got an infection on my cornea that spread to the eyeball, inside the eyeball. And it was a good thing I went in when I did. They hit me with 4 different eye drops to start with. And then they, after a couple days, after the initial badness, I guess, and you can say, if it got over, then they switched me to a steroid antibiotic. And I did that for a week, and I went back to the ophthalmologist on Monday, and he said, you look good. You have a little scarring, but it's off to the side. Shouldn't hamper your vision, and you can start wearing contacts again.
Just in time to get glasses that you ordered.
Yeah, my glasses came in yesterday.
Did they?
I haven't picked them up yet, but I did have to order glasses because I didn't have any. I always just kind of wore contacts. So
I think you'll like having them just as a backup.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. But it's nice to be able to see again. I was using cheaters, and they were up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
And it was just difficult. And the other thing we shared on Monday, it was Ray's birthday.
Yes.
From Needles at the Ready podcast. Happy birthday, Ray.
Aren't you going to do the microphone thing?
Happy birthday, Ray. Actually, I told Ray that we had sang to him on Monday, and we're not singing today.
No. It's over, Ray.
No,
you had your chance.
Oh, yeah. Well, every day I said it's your birthday for a week, so every day I send him a new little, I never say it right. The kids tease me. GIF?
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 GIF, whatever.
Whatever it is. They tell me GIF is the peanut butter. And so today is day 4, so I sent him one from day 4. We are podcasting tonight, so if I get brave, maybe I'll sing to him.
Zooming.
Yeah. Podcasting. Now we're Zooming tonight. So, yeah. So I think that's all the life updates. Okay. The weather took a turn. It's been
very
bloody
refreshing.
Warm. And this morning I got up and it was raining, and it's cool and refreshing, which is good.
So nice. We have the window open, little breeze. It's great.
But I am trying to dye some yarn in the yard, and when it's 90 degrees, it dries really fast. And now that it's kind of overcast and cool, it'll probably take a couple days because my spin dryer bit the dust. And
use your salad spinner.
I don't have a salad spinner.
Oh, go get a salad spinner.
It's not big enough. It's not big enough. The spin dryers, it's kind of an industrial size. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
It's great for when you block sweaters because you can spin some of the extra moisture out. So I will get one, but
That's a bummer.
for the summertime it's okay. They dry pretty fast, except for today.
Well, it's supposed to warm up, again, so hopefully.
Yeah, back into the 80s.
At least the
I think.
80s. Yeah, that's
So-
kind of typical for us.
Yeah. So good.
All right.
So what have you finished?
Okay, well.
In the last 2.5 weeks now that it's been.
Yes, I had some extra time. So I was showing this as the Clockwork by Stephen West. And I finished it. And it is a good size. I absolutely love the size. It's not very deep. You can totally wear it as a scarf. And it's like, it's not short, but it's not,
But
super,
for a Stephen
super
West
wide.
pattern, it's considered tiny, I think.
Right. And it's one of his earlier ones. It's from 2010. And I used Frolicking Feet yarn in khaki and blue jeans. And I'm really happy with it.
fun.
I think I'm just
Really
really
great.
super happy with it. I love the size. I think it's going to be perfect for fall with, jeans and whatever. Pretty neutral with the khaki and blue.
Gorgeous.
So that's my big finish. And then apparently I am a sock knitter now. I knit this pair of Rose City rollers, and this is I
can hold
didn't
this
put
one
them
up
both
if you
on there.
want.
And so it's
You can see the colors.
yeah, it's really it's
pretty.
like pink and a
Yeah.
little light green and
It almost
blue.
looks like a sherbet.
Yeah, it's like Easter eggy. It's
Yeah.
very, very springy. And so I finished these, and I think I said a couple, maybe in the first podcast, that I cast them on the plane to Italy 2 years ago, and I was about this far. These are top down. So yeah, I had gone about here. I'd done the heel, and then I just never knit there because why would you? There's a million things to do. And I think even on the plane home, we were just like passed out because we had, So I found them again when I was doing my big stash clean out earlier during the COVID. And I thought, well, I guess I'll finish them, even though I hate knitting socks, but I guess I'll finish these. So I did. And I'm really pretty happy with them. Later in the podcast, I'll talk about a more preferred type of shorty sock of mine. I don't. These are like tennis shoe socks because they go up, and I wear Danskos pretty much all winter if I don't have snow boots on. So I like the socks that kind of end here and go around like that. So anyway, finished object. And then the other finish is this, it's called the Simplicity cardigan. And it's like a flyaway, sort of. And I have a picture of it here that I will show you. And this is knit from lace weight yarn. So that's what it looks like. And it's knit from lace weight yarn, but on size 6s. So it's not a complete and utter nightmare. That'd be my version of a nightmare, knitting on lace weight on tiny needles forever. But I like it so much that I decided, I did the 3/4 length sleeve, and I got, when I was shopping over at Bainbridge Island, west of Seattle, is where Church Mouse Yarns and Tees is. And when I was there in the fall, I got 2 skeins of Malabrigo lace, and it's kind of I should have brought it. It's kind of a mossy green color, but a little bit like a creamy mossy green, if that makes sense. I'll show it to you at some point. But I got 2 skeins so I can make a long sleeve, because that Malabrigo lace is like Malabrigo worsted, just that single width, but just lace weight. So it'll be more for the winter, which I think I will like that, I think, as just a layer. And this is Fyberspates. Let me see here. I don't have it memorized. Fyberspates Scrumptious lace. And it is on 6s. You can see through it. It knits up really nice and loose. And so I think it's like 70, upper 70s right now outside, and it's totally great. I mean, I'm not too hot, and I really like it. So I recommend the pattern. It is on Ravelry. It'll be in the show notes below. And I think like 3 of the people in our knitting group have made this, and it is
Notice that.
is it crooked? And
Probably
different length. One of our friends has a short sleeved one, and that's really great for summer. So anyway, it's just a fun pattern. Stockinette, easy.
And as a knitter, you can never layer enough.
Right, exactly. So that's all I have for finishes.
All right. Well, I have 3 things because in our delay, I got to finish the sweater, and I finished it probably half hour, 40 minutes ago. So ends aren't woven in. It's obviously not blocked.
It still counts.
It still counts. So this is my Weekender by Andrea Mowry, and so this is it. It's green. It's kind of a green and blue. It's worsted weight, and did I bring the yarn? It is by it's a Rowan Lima color, so it's a chain ply, and it's in the color Mumbai. So I'm anxious to get it done. It's just kind of a sweatshirty style. Sleeves are done, but nothing is
I
woven
love that
in.
detail on the front, the slip stitch.
The little chain thing.
Yeah,
where it slips
it's
stitch
really
up the front,
cool.
and then it's also on the back. And then it's got the really cool ribbing at the top, and then it's you do 3 needle bind off, and you do it with wrong sides together, so you get this really nice little exposed seam. So
This yarn is
isn't this
so
nice?
soft.
And this yarn was given to me by our friend Carmen. We've talked about her before. She had a birthday, and I'm going to ask you again, was it a
Hobbit birthday.
Hobbit birthday. So she brought gifts for everybody. So she had gone through her stash, picked out some yarn that she didn't want, and told us all to grab something. So I grabbed this. It was a sweater's quantity. I have 1.5 balls left, but it was just a joy to work with. And I do a lot of fingering weight sweaters, so to do a worsted,
Yeah.
it would have flown off the needles. I had to rip the last sleeve out because I miscounted when I was picking up stitches.
Plus your eye.
It was my eye.
Yes,
I'm
let's
blaming
do that.
it on my
Let's
eye.
do that.
Yes, I couldn't see.
Yes.
So I was doing the Braille method. And I had too many. So that sweater is done, which means I can start working on another sweater that I have casted on, but I haven't worked on since I picked that one up. So show that one next week. I also have Karen Whooley, who's a crochet designer here in the Northwest, had designed up this shawl for me. So I didn't finish this. She did. She made this. It was a sample that we were going to do at Vogue Knitting in Seattle, which of course was canceled. But this is done. It's a gorgeous. It's like a half pie shawl.
Crescent.
Well, it's
Maybe.
it's semicircular.
Yeah.
And then this is done out of Trilogy Yarns. The blue is Bad Boy Blue on my Glamour Space. And then the variegated is Aurora Borealis, and that is also on my Glamour Space. So,
so pretty.
It's gorgeous. I do crochet, I do knit. I prefer to knit, but I wouldn't mind crocheting this one up because the drape is so nice.
Well, and I really like crochet for things like baby blankets. I mean, it's fast, and they're such cool. Once I made a baby blanket that was just a giant granny square.
Yes.
And it was so much fun to do, and the mom just loved it.
And I'm doing a crochet scrappy blanket. So it's the granny striped.
Yeah.
The other finished...
One of our podcasting friends just did a beautiful crochet blanket. Erin?
Oh, Erin from Fiber Hustle.
Oh, man.
Yes.
It's all medallions.
It was Arnie and Carlos
It's just
pattern.
right. Oh,
Yes.
it's so cool.
Gorgeous. But he had a gazillion ends to weave in, and he was kind of weaving them in as he go, or, kind of hides the ends when you crochet. But it was, I think they were going to put it on their patio, on their chair or something. I would love something like this.
Yeah.
I have a cat. I have 3 cats.
Someday.
I do have a wicker chair on the deck that I do have a crocheted throw on, but it's nothing that, if the cats want to scratch at it, they can. The third thing.
This is so gorgeous.
Third thing I have. This is the Combinatorics cowl. Now this was a knit along, and this was, I think, about 3 years ago by Tetiana, or I'm going to butcher the name, or Otruta, I think. Sounds Otruta. So this is done out of my single space, out of Trilogy single space. So the reddish color is Sexy Cowboy, and then the gray is Stormy Weather. And what's really nice about this shawl, well, it comes in 2 sizes. This is actually the large size, which really isn't very large.
Yeah.
But all of the gray lace sections are the same pattern, and the red, the red lace sections are all the same lace pattern, and then you have your garter stripes in between. So it's really nice if you don't get bored. You're constantly changing. I love using my single space for shawls and t-shirts. It's a single ply merino silk, so the single ply gives it this nice drape, and then the silk gives it a really nice sheen. So this is the Combinatorics. In fact, this is the second one I've done. It's just a really fun shawl.
And you bring up a good point about not getting bored, because that on this Clockwork, I got super bored. Mm-hmm. I mean, it wasn't like it wasn't fun anymore, but I was kind of like, okay, I got to get it done. I'm ready to move on. But you go from garter to lace, and then there's only 2 different kinds of lace, so it's not like you're switching lace patterns every single time. So you do have a little bit of familiarity, though.
Right, and it's a very easy, very memorable. Okay, see, this is where I have problems with
memorizable.
Memorizable. Shawl. So yes, so that is what I have for finished this week. So, Kathleen, what's on your needles?
Well, I know it's going to be a big shock, but more socks. So I want to put this on this form so I can show it.
Drinking coffee through a straw with a mask. Difficult, but it must be done.
Not impossible. Okay, so here is my second pair of Turkish bed socks by Kit Hutchin from Church Mouse Yarns. And these are written for 1 skein of koigu, which is 175 yards, I think. So they hardly take any yarn. So these are the first ones that I did. And they are okay. They're low. They kind of slide off in the back here. So I thought I would try to... I want to show the tips. So I did short rows on this one and made this much higher of the reverse stockinette, and this is where you cast on for these socks. So I did that, and I think that's going to make a huge difference. And then one of the interesting things about this pattern is that you knit this part, what they call the heel wrap, and then you bind off these stitches here, and then you pick them back up, and so you get this big seam. And you can feel it, obviously. And so there's a gal on Ravelry, and her name is Ms. Archer. Her username is Ms. Archer, MSARCHER. And she has some mods that make that you can do this seamless. And so what you do is you knit a heel flap kind of down.
Can I hold it up to the camera?
You knit a heel flap down right here. And then you do the deal where you slip knit on one side to connect it to this, and you purl 2 together on this side to connect it. So it was super easy and fast. I did this all pretty much. I just had this done on Monday. And I did the whole rest of it like last night. And I think I went to bed at maybe midnight. So, I don't know. I'm super happy with it. So we'll see. We'll see how they fit. But I have high hopes.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
then my other I have two more. So this is Unique Socks. And this is the brand UNEEK, and it's from Yoth, YOTH. And so this is
Is that yarn on the high grass? Was that what Yoth was?
I don't know.
I thought there was.
I have no idea.
Oh, I don't know. I could be just making that up.
So this one, this is pretty cool because if you share a picture of your socks, finished or in progress, and you use the hashtag knit one, plant one, they will plant a tree for every post. And so they did this collection in partnership with Trees for the Future, and each sale equals one tree. So it's pretty great. So a lot of us are knitting these. Our local yarn shop Knit carried these kits, and so they are 2 balls, and they're exactly the same. So you can have striped socks that match. And I started on the outside of the ball because I wanted my pink part to be kind of on the top. And I wanted to use the whole thing, and that's why I've got this knee sock, basically.
Or thigh sock, because Kathleen's not very tall.
And so these markers are just showing me where I put in the increases, because I just kind of did that on the fly.
For her, what did we decide? Your muscular calves.
Right, my muscular calves, quote unquote. And then this bind off looks like, not great here, but I need it. Really loose bind off because they go all the way up. And this is the elastic bind off, and it's a version of the knit 2 together through the back loop all the way. And so it works great. It just doesn't look good off the foot, but
that
who cares?
is my favorite bind off, but I think I do mine a little bit tighter.
Well, there's the lace bind off, and that's the basic knit through the back loop. And this is the elastic bind off. So you knit
2 together.
No, well, you knit 2 together through the back loop, and then you knit 1, and then you knit those 2 together through the back loop.
We have a cat climbing the
she's
screen
determined
slider.
to get out. So yeah, it's just a variation on that, and in my favorite things, I'll show you where I got that bind off. Okay, and between Monday and now, or Tuesday, or Monday and now,
Monday.
I did a dive looking for some needles, and I found this beautiful project bag that I got when we were in Italy. We were in Positano, which is dreamy, and if you ever get the chance to go there, you must. And I also found these socks.
Amazing what you find when you go digging.
These are, let me put them on here. These are from a Knit Picks bundle, and I don't know why I thought I would wear these, but I did. And they're pretty cute. So
They are cute.
I'm like that far along. I've got one whole one done, and then I've got this much of another one done.
So you put a little button or a
little button.
There's a little button.
And I bound
hole,
off too tight on there. I tried them on, so I gotta. But yeah, I mean,
cute.
What am I, like an hour from being done?
Look at the little lace detail.
Isn't that
Let's
cute?
See. I don't know if you can. Well, you can
Yeah,
kind
you
of
can
see
kinda
it through
see
the
it there,
back.
yeah.
Yeah. Little lace detail on the
So
top. Oh, that's gorgeous.
I mean, I don't know why I didn't finish these, but now's the time. And I have. This was like 7 balls of the. I don't even know what it is. It's probably. I don't even know.
It's pretty woolly feeling.
Yeah, it is. I don't know what it is. Anyway, this one, there's one for every day of the week. So there was 7 of these balls, all different colors, and 7 different sock designs. So I have that to look forward to.
Cute.
Yes. So
Now that she's a sock knitter, there's 2 in our local knit group that have become sock knitters.
yes.
So I'm happy. I love knitting socks. I always have
Well,
socks.
I used to knit them all the time, and I just got away from it because I got into knitting sweaters.
Mm-hmm.
And as I get older, my hands start to hurt, and so either extreme needle sizes hurt my hands after a while. So I have to just be disciplined, which is always a challenge for me, and not knit for hours on, tiny metal needles. I did buy some wooden ones when I was doing something. Oh, that descent sweater. That was knit on 2s. And I bought some wooden Chow needles, and that was
Do you like those?
amazing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or I think they're bamboo.
Yeah.
So
I like wooden needles. I like to use them, especially if I have a real slick yarn.
Mm-hmm.
There's just enough grip that keeps your stitches from falling off.
Right. Well, what do you have on the needles?
So, I too am a sock knitter. So I think on the first podcast, I talked about this sock blank that I had found in my living room in a basket. It was a Christmas gift, and what was it, 15, 16 years ago. Oh so I did start this one, and I'm not going to put it on a sock blocker because I'm team 9-inch circulars. Toe up, I use the kind of a version of the figure eight cast on, fish lips kiss heel, and then a 2x2 rib. Sorry, masks.
Did you do the fish lips kiss? Did you trace your foot and do
I did not.
cardboard thing?
I did not.
I think I'm going to try that. Because my feet are short. I wear a size 7, and they're always too long.
See, I have a sock ruler. I think it's in the other room. That I measure with a sock ruler.
Oh, okay.
And I do it about an inch and a quarter. I start my heel at about an inch and a quarter from the size shoe. So I wear an 8.5 shoe. Mm-hmm. So when I'm at 7 inches on the sock ruler, I'll start my heel. Okay. And that seems to fit because I don't, I like it with a little bit of negative ease so it's not bulky.
Yeah.
And then these are for my granddaughter, and I asked him how long she wanted them, and she said about that long. She likes to wear them with shorty boots and stuff. So I started the rib by 1 row. I've started the rib. So these will be done next week. So I'll have one of these.
And are you going to start from the other side then of the sock blank
for
the second one?
They are identical.
Okay.
So when I started at this end here, I started with the green bells. So and then you have the reindeer.
Oh, they're identical. Way. Oh, I gotcha. Yes. Okay.
Because a funny thing about sock blanks, only one end will unravel.
Oh, so you have to.
So you have to start. Oh. So if you've ever knit from a sock blank, this end is finished. Okay. So it will not unravel. So just the one end will unravel.
I guess I've never knit from a sock blank.
You said you found some though, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I've got some. Don't get me wrong, I've got some. I just haven't ever knitted from them. And
the other thing, I am doing sock number 2 of the Knit Picks Felici. I am a yarn dyer. I have a crap ton of sock yarn, but I still like the Felici, so I like to switch up with that. So this one is test pattern. It's just got some pinks and blues and golds and brown. Oops, the camera's up there. Really golds. Pretty. So, sorry guys, I was dyeing today, so my fingernails are a little stained. But this is sock pattern, and so I just got the toe done, and I'm working on the foot. So this, I like to keep a sock in the car. You never know when you're going to have to wait, even railroad crossings. The other day I took my granddaughter to the dentist and didn't take anything, and I cannot go in. I know, what happened? I wasn't thinking. And you can't go in, so you have to wait in the car, so I was just kicking myself. So,
a missed opportunity for knitting.
I know.
Dang it.
Well, I was sharing my car with one of my granddaughters, so I tried to not keep stuff in there, and so she just got a new car, so my car is mine again.
Now you can put your stuff back.
I can clean out my car. And then the third thing that I'm working on, and I showed this last week, and I do have some kits up in the shop. But this is the Counting Rainbows Cowl by Matt Akers of Maker's Knitting. And Matt had reached out to me and had said he wanted to design a cowl, and he was interested in using my rainbow minis and then my fingering weight. So I did. I let him. I donated some yarn to him to do that, and so
so that sample that you showed was knit with your rainbow minis, and what was the main color?
Stormy weather.
Stormy weather.
And I do have kits, like I say, in the shop, but I talked about that last time. So I decided to do one for me, but I wanted to do a different color. I do have some mini fade kits in the shop, and I wanted to use those. So I am doing mine. This is my blush colorway, which is a pale pink, and I just started the second shade of the burgundy I'm doing. So this is my lightest down here. This is my lightest burgundy. This is the next darker shade, and it'll fade to a really dark one.
Like what you're wearing, maybe?
Yeah,
Ish.
Not quite as purple, but yeah. Oh, I didn't talk about what I'm wearing.
Oh, yeah.
My gosh. Well, I will talk about it when I'm done with this. So anyway, this is the Counting Rainbows cowl, and I love it. I love wearing cowls because you don't have to mess with the ends. Although the little shawl cuffs are really nice for keeping your ends in place. And I don't have a shawl cuff, but sometimes I use my little leather bracelet, which we'll talk about later. But so that is on my needles too, and so that's all I'm actively working on. Good Lord, I have a lot of stuff on the needles. But this is all I'm actively working on. But back to my sweater on our finished garments. This is The Pavement by Vera Valimecki. And I'll show you. It's a really fun, maybe I'll turn the brightness down. That's what the other podcasters do. So let's try that. So, sorry. It's just well, you can see the top here, but it's got this
the shirt
tail hem, which is really fun.
Yeah.
And 3/4 length sleeves. So I did mine out of my Plush base in the eggplant colorway, and I've been knitting for years, and I should learn to trust the patterns, especially if they're patterns that have been out for a while. And I didn't, and I thought her raglan increases don't sound right. So I didn't trust the pattern. I thought I did what I thought she meant. Well, that's not what she meant. Because by the time I got done, the raglan increases go from here to like here. And that's it. And I thought, well, no, raglan increases go from your neckline to your armpit, that way. So I put in all these extra raglan increases. Well, the sweater was ginormous. So I knit this sweater twice.
Did you get it all done before you decided to knit it?
I did.
Lordy.
I did.
Okay.
Okay, guys, confession booth. I very seldom gauge swatch, and I very seldom try a sweater on till it's done. And occasionally I get stung. This time I got stung. So yes, I ripped it all out and reknit it. But,
oh boy! Well, it was worth it.
Yes, I love it. It's a kind of a nice lightweight. It's a fingering weight, and so it's not really warm today. So it's just kind of nice to put on. And and that, check my notes real quick. That is it. That's
it
all
for
I
on the needles,
worked on. Yes.
Okay.
So favorites.
So
this is our favorite
This is
part.
our favorite. Favorites are our favorite. Okay, so I am an enamel pin junkie, and I have discovered this gal whose name is Heidi, and she's from Portland, Oregon, and she is the Clever Cove. And so these are the pins that I just recently gotten, and this one says, "Go away, I'm knitting." So this is like my mantra. This is just too adorable, so that's why I got it. And then this one says, I knit past my bedtime. And this is Mimi's because she likes to go to bed early, and occasionally I'll have to make her go to bed because she's so busy knitting. So this is HeidiTheCleverCove.com. And then just today I got this one, which is Franklin Habits Dolores, which is his sheep. And he did a collab with the Neighborhood Fiber Company, and she's a black woman-owned company in Baltimore. I've talked about her before. And they got together and did this amazing pin. So I just got that in the mail before I came, so I'm excited about that. Okay, so that's the first thing. And then this is the second thing, Cast On Bind Off. And this book... it's awesome. It's one of my very favorites. It stays in my knitting basket. And it is by Leslie Ann Bester. And it's this great spiral binding, super easy to use. And all the cast-ons are listed in the front page. And all the bind-offs are listed on the back page. And then each one... Let me see. I'm just open to this. Okay, so this is a good example. So these are all the tubular cast-ons that she covers. And then she gives you directions for each one, pictorial directions. And then she has like a pro and con, and shows pictures of what they look like, one side, and sometimes two sides if they look very different on the wrong side. And then from the bottom, which I think is a really cool thing. So you get to see what the actual edge looks like for everything. So this is just a must-have book. And, you can get it online, but check your local yarn shop first. A lot of them have it. And this is where I found that elastic bind off, because there's a whole section on loose bind offs. And then finally, I'm wearing it. These are our pins, and these are leather rulers, which I wouldn't advise using as a ruler unless you don't absolutely need an accurate measurement, because they do stretch out. But they can also, like Nancy was saying, be used. You can twist it a few times and use it as a shawl collar. Cuff, sorry. Okay. And they're just super fun. I have this one, and I have an orange one. And I got one for one of my knitting friends in the black leather, which is very cool. So I love these. And they are by Crossover Industries, and they're called wrist ruler bracelets.
And they have them in all colors now, I think,
Yeah.
Just some fun.
And I do I like leather things, and I just like the feel of it and the organic nature of it. And so I have bought several of the shawl cuffs, and I wear them as bracelets because they're a little bit heavy, I feel like, for me to wear as the shawl cuff. And I think they look better with the bigger blankety type shawls, and I don't have really any of those. So, what about you? Let's see. You've got a good one.
Oh, yes.
Here we go.
Okay, well, I'm going to start with one that I showed on Monday.
Okay.
And this is my row counter by Twice Sheared Sheep. You can kind of see it's got numbers on it. And I didn't get one of these right away when everybody was buying them in our group. I thought, I've got one of those clicker ones. I'd probably have 10 of those clicker ones. And I just didn't know if I needed another gadget in my tool bag. Well, let me tell you guys, this is super good for cables. Mm-hmm. If you do a lot of cables, and every row, you would start with your first row. So there's a little, I'm going to put it down here, you can kind of see it. There's a little, just like a little stitch marker, and then number 1. And then on your next row, you'd put it down to the number 2 one, all the way down to number 10. And then if you need more than 10 rows, it's got this little,
they call it a harp, I think.
Yeah, right here. And so you can move that up. So if you were going to row 11, then I would stick it right here on the first one and know that these are your teen rows, if you're, 1 through 19. And then if you're going into your 20s, you hook it on your 2. So you really could get 100 rows out of this. So this is just a nice little gadget.
It's pretty. Too.
It is
it's
pretty.
It's like knitting jewelry.
Mine's got like a little, almost like a little tiger eye.
Mm-hmm.
See if you can, there, put it on my forehead.
Put it on your forehead.
Yeah, a little tiger eye on it. But you can,
They have all different ones.
Yeah,
like,
different
I think mine
colors.
has like a little fake diamond or something.
Real diamond.
Yeah.
I
me.
think it was
Of
real.
course, you
never.
Duh.
Yeah. Silly woman. But I've seen them with like little butterflies and little dragonflies and stuff. So that is one. Okay, you guys. I got a new favorite yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my new wine glass.
Oh my God, this is so good. Brace yourselves.
It's by Haughty Pottery. And I hope I don't offend anybody. This is my new wine goblet. It even has little belly buttons.
That is so cute.
So, I just think my new Zoom wine goblet.
God, that's the best.
Also, it would be real cute if you don't, want beverages in it, to put a little succulent in it.
Yes, that would be so cute.
But I just think this is really fun. So
is
this
it intended as a?
And she's got
a cup,
a mug. Mm-hmm. She does have some that have handles on them, like coffee mugs. She has a few other, couple different sayings and stuff. And then she's got some that are more PG friendly. Mm-hmm. But this is by Haughty Pottery, and I saw this and it's like, I have to have that. I have to have that because
is hilarious.
And it would also be great, if you want to put stitch markers in it, just have it by your, your chair where you're knit.
Just a little container.
Just throw it. But I'm using it for wine
because
it's got a nice little handle here.
Yeah.
You can totally hang on to it.
It's got support.
It doesn't have support. That's the problem. So anyway, so those are my favorites.
Cool.
And I'm going to Zoom tonight, so I am excited to put a little Chardonnay in there and toast the Zoom group.
Yes. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we have some news.
Well, do you have any acquisitions?
Oh, do I? No, not really.
I have two. I had mentioned before. And
I did forget. Hold on.
Hold on.
I did forget.
Back up.
Oh, wait. We're doing acquisitions, and then we'll do next up.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, I don't have any next up, so either or.
Okay, so I'll do this. I'll do next up.
And I'll do coffee.
Because, of course, I'm going to cast something on. Okay, so these are my colors for the Shift cowl. And I have a picture of that. This is edition 3 by Shawl. And
Can I hold those while you do that?
Yeah, that would be great.
These are just really pretty.
So some of our friends did this with just 2 colors, but it's written for 3. It's an Andrea Mowry pattern, and this is, you see it? Yep. Yeah. So that's what it is. It's a slip stitch kind of, it's a mosaic pattern, and it, I saw a sample, I went to Maker's Market in Kent, south of Seattle, sometime when we could still go places. And it's a great place. If you ever have a chance, you've got to check it out because all of the Skistell stuff is there, and the wall of Addie needles is just to die for. But they had a sample made up in, not this, but this yarn, and it just works so great. And this is a sport weight, like Zauberball.
Is this what Kim?
Yes. Our friend Kim has she done 2? I think she's on her second one.
Yeah.
And they're all out of this. So, and then Mimi's knitting one because she got the same yarn too. And we're both using this color. And I don't quite think there's enough of one of the colors. So we're just going to get one more of these and then kind of split it and we'll be all set. But,
and then there's enough of the other 2.
But there is enough of the other 2.
So is that your main color?
Yeah, much? I guess so. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But Andrea wrote it for Spin Cycle, the sport weight one, and those have a little bit more yardage than this. But people have done it with just 3 of these, and they'll just do like the bind off for the last couple rows in one of the other colors, so no biggie.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm excited for that. Okay,
now acquisitions.
Yes.
So I may have mentioned that I pulled the trigger on the Fringe Supply field bag. They were going out of business, And I did find some at Tolt in Carnation, Washington. So I did get one, and this one is the plum colored, the waxed canvas. And
is that the field bag?
This is the field bag. It's got the nice little leather strap. It is housing my Counting Rainbows cowl. It does have a pocket here, and then it also has these 3 grommets. I think you can, if you're doing
color work,
you can run your yarn through the grommet. I don't know that I would ever do that because I tend to take projects out of the bag and stuff. But
and once you start, it's kind of stuck there.
It is stuck there. Yeah. That's why I don't know that I would ever do it.
Yeah.
So that is one of my acquisitions. And then I did talk about the Felici by Knit Picks. They come out, I don't know if it's, I thought it was once a year, but I've heard other podcasters say twice a year, so I'm not sure. They're new colors for their sock yarn. And I put it in my cart, and then I walked away. And then I went back and I looked at my cart. And then I walked away, and then another podcaster had gotten some and was showing the colors, and I was like, all right. Yeah. So I checked out, and so I got them, and I like to make socks out of them. So they're all 50-gram balls, and so I got 2 of each color. So I'm not going to go through all the colors. But this one is pretty. This is animal cookies, and if this doesn't speak animal cookies, I don't know what does.
Yeah, that's perfect.
But there's okay. Here it is, guys.
Oh my God! So you got you got the whole line.
I got the whole.
Okay,
the whole line.
times 2.
Yes, and you can buy them individually, or if you want to buy them all, it's a little bit cheaper to buy them all. And of course, since I wanted socks, I had to buy 2 of their value packs. So.
Oh, I love this one. This one is
isn't
cool.
That one fun?
I love that.
This one's just
What does this look like? It's like candy or something.
Yeah.
What's this called? Carrot cake. That's perfect. They've got a good name.
Yeah. So anyway, I have, and I still have a cubby back behind Kathleen that's full of Felici. I think I have some Felici downstairs.
Oh my! You need a sock machine.
I had a sock machine, and I sold it.
Boo.
I'm not a fan of afterthought heels. It's just easier
and that's pretty much,
I can, on the 9-inch Cirques, I can do a sock in a couple days if I dedicate myself to it. So, and a sock machine is really hard to put in your purse. It's so true.
That's so true.
So that are my acquisitions. This English language. I'm still trying to master that.
Yeah, it's a challenge.
So yeah. Okay.
That's awesome.
So, fun news, guys. We are going to do a knit along, crochet along. You can do both. I guess I shouldn't just call it a knit along.
Make along.
We are doing this with 5 other podcasters. We are doing it with Cody Knits, Sweet Tea No Shade, Needles at the Ready, Vibra Hustle, and Creative Obsession. So this knit along is going to start August 9th, which is Monday, and it's going to run through September 30th. So it's I think it's actually 7 weeks. Mm-hmm. So it's a 7-week knit along. It's called Knit One and Done. So it's a single skein project. Hats, cowls, socks, mittens, gloves, shawlettes.
Cowl, did you say that?
I think I said cowl. Whatever.
Anything that's one skein.
Anything that, baby garment, booties, anything that's a one thing. And so how we are running ours, and I'm not sure how the other podcasters, how they're going to do their prizes, but we're going to have a thread up in our Ravelry group page on the needles. And so we're going to have a Knit One and Done thread. And also we're using the hashtag Knit One and Done 2020. And that's all going to be down below in the notes. So we're going to have 2 drawings in our thread. So for every time you finish a project, if you'll post it to Ravelry on October 1st, we'll do a drawing, a random number generator.
Mm-hmm.
No, random, yeah. We'll have the computer pick a number.
Yes.
And that person will win this awesome mug that says knit one and done. It's got the little yarn on the back. It's a really nice mug. They actually just arrived today. Half of them are broken. Yeah, I don't know what they did, so we'll get that fixed. But so for our prize, we're going to stick a bunch of goodies in here and a skein of yarn. And so that'll be a prize. So every time you finish a single skein project, you can enter it. You can also enter it on the other podcasts. I think they'll have something in Ravelry, whether they do Ravelry or Instagram. But you can double, triple, quadruple, quintuple, and sextuple. Sextuple word.
Good job.
Dip. So you can do that. So that is going to be one drawing we're going to have. We're also going to have another drawing that if you use a skein of my yarn, TrilogyYarn.com, as your single skein, you will also be entered in a giveaway for one of my Christmas Advent calendars.
Oh, wow.
So that's going to be
that's a big prize.
Because on my Advents, there's little goodies every day. It's 24 20-gram minis and a 100-gram full skein for the 25th, all in a fingering weight. So that'll be a prize in that one. So
that's exciting.
So be sure, and if you want to do, it's a great way to get started on your gift knitting. Be sure and use the hashtag knit1anddone2020. The information will all be down below. We'll talk about it on every podcast we do until September 30th.
And I'll set up the Ravelry page.
Yes, Kathleen's
tomorrow.
My Ravelry user.
Yeah, I will set it up tomorrow so people can start posting their patterns and their one skeins, and we can maybe get some pattern ideas there for one skein ideas.
Yeah, I do have a few kits in the shop. I have a really cute lattice slip stitch cowl.
Oh yeah.
That is a free pattern.
And I think you showed that in the last.
I did show that
in the last podcast, but I can link to that also in the group.
Yeah, so we'll have that. There's lots of cute hat patterns. There's a lot of free patterns. Just get a jump start on your gift knitting.
Mm-hmm.
Enter as many projects as you get done. It's all on the honor system. We're not going to police anybody because we don't.
Yeah.
Trust you. So, yeah.
That's exciting.
Yes. Okay. Other shop news. I do have new yarn weight in the shop. I have 100% superwash worsted motorcycles and 100% non-superwash worsted base in the shop. So if you go to TrilogyYarn.com and you can look under my blog, under my blogs, it gives you the bases and it tells you what the bases are. Here is some of the superwash worsted that I've dyed up. So it's 218 yards for 100 grams put-ups. So really fun. I'm excited to start dyeing up the non-superwash. I've been kind of busy on orders, but the non-superwash will take the dye a little bit different. So I'm excited about doing that. So that's new in the shop. And the other thing that's new in the shop, it's not new in the shop, it's new with me. Next weekend on the 14th and 15th, which is Friday and Saturday, I will be participating in Vogue Knitting Live. So I'm going to have 2 1-hour slots. It'll be 11 to 12, both on Friday and Saturday, and that's Pacific time. We're in the West Coast. And if you follow me on Instagram under Trilogy Yarns, I will have it's a Zoom, it's a 1-hour Zoom. I will have the meeting ID and the password listed, and you can jump on. I'll have another person helping me, so questions, you can ask any questions. If you want to see another color, again, I will be doing a discount code. If you want to go to my website and sign up for my newsletter, that discount code will also be going out in the newsletter, I think. Kathleen is my newsletter editor.
Yeah,
so
we got to hammer that out after we're done here.
So there will be a thing in the newsletter that'll give you the discount code. It's going to be a 20% discount. So you can double score. You can pick up some yarn for the knit along.
Yeah.
At 20% discount. You can enter that to win a Christmas advent. So.
And so Vogue Knitting Live, I've done it twice, and it is super fun. And one of the most fun parts of it is this marketplace, this virtual marketplace. And they have, all the vendors have, however long they signed up for, to give a tour of their store, give tutorials, like Knit Companions on there, and they do some great tutorials. And you don't have to be signed up for classes for Vogue Knitting in order to get a marketplace ticket. They're just $3. And that is for all of the marketplace activities. And there are some extras in there, like some social, community building things that are really fun. And so just go on Vogue Knitting Live and you can buy your ticket for $3. And that's for the entire time, all of the vendors, and it's really fun. And I highly recommend it. It's really fun.
And it'll run 4 days. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, lots of fun stuff to look at. It's nice, Vogue is doing this because of, I was signed up for Vogue Knitting Live in Seattle. And, of course, they've had to cancel all their Vogue Knitting shows since this pandemic. And so it's just a nice way for Vogue to reach out and support the teachers and the dyers and the other vendors, not just dyers, but the other vendors that missed out on the show. So, so check that out. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm going to start hammering stuff out every day to remind people. Yeah.
Great.
Fun stuff.
All right. Anything else?
Nope. I'm ready to fill up my
Alrighty. So thanks everyone for tuning in.
Like.
Yes.
Subscribe,
don't forget to
comment. If you have something negative to say, we'd like to hear that too. This is
constructive
just
criticism is always welcome.
Episode 3. It's a learning curve, and I hope that the microphone works.
No, don't even. And so we're going to bid adieu, and we want you to support your local yarn shop. It's really important right now. And until next time, knit on.
See you later. Knit on.
Bye.
Bye.